and the way things work. Vibration, I suppose, yes. Resonant fields and so forth. But light resonating higher than light and dark being, it just doesn't kind of antiquate. It's very polarity. It's not really dimensionally. It's not, and definitely not multidimensionally, as is being suggested. So I don't see where we suddenly jump to dark being evil. That, to me, I have a big issue. You see, as people who know myself, you know, I was big into plants, aquaponics, hydroponics, and hemp and various other things. And the things...
Meridians. Alignment. Instability in field. Negative. Charge. Aligning matrix field. Positive. Coordinates reached, Commander.
Activate the Sade field.
Activations of multidimensional engines.
Launch communications probe.
Power levels to maximum.
Activate all dimensional levels of communication.
Communication established.
The voice you hear is known as Bob. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our destination. This is the last slave planet in the galaxy. Under all agreements, under all rights, under galactic law, we now proclaim this planet free. The descension of the true human consciousness has begun.
Energizing Shambhala diamonds.
The men, women, and children of this planet are now set free.
Grid fields activated.
You have already reached
Activate Shambhala diamond.
critical mass.
Integration onto microcosm. Expanding linear space.
Prepare for landing. Prepare for landing. Prepare for landing.
Free space activation. Landing. Caution. All crew members to station. This is the Starship Bob. We are landing.
I really do think that's a bit loud, isn't it? I really do think that jingle should end with like the sound file of like a car crash or a dustbin lid falling over and rolling down the street. I really do. Really do. I have done for a while now. So yeah, welcome to yet another Darkcity show. I am the guy called Bob, or the voice known as Paul. Whatever you want to call me, I suppose it's alright. Try and keep it pleasant, if possible. Dave's just telling me who's in the room with me. I've got Dave Matthews with us. I've got Dawn from the Darkcity. I've got Mickey P, and I've got our Chris Sparky. And we've Mickey P's not actually been on a live one with us yet. I don't think. He might have just dropped in a couple of times, but we told him to put numbers in the room when he wants to, Mickey P, when he wants to speak. And if you do want to ring in, please do. You can Skype us at Bob's Backyard, or you can telephone us, and I'll see if I can do it how it should be. +44, open bracket 0, close brackets, 161 298 0298. Now that's how it's spelled or typed, but I'll give it for you. If you're outside the UK, plus 44 161 298 0298. From inside the UK, 0161 298 0298. Or again, Skype us at Bob's Backyard. Now, also, you can enter the IRC chat room that is on AnonNet. The channel name is #Bob's Backyard. We have got a couple of people in there now actually talking. Soul Shock, myself, Minky was in there. Paddy, come back. I know you've heard the live shows, but if we've now got another one, you never know what's going to happen on the Dark Cities. Our apologies for that. I will. I didn't realise some of you were actually tuning in as much as you are tuning in. Thank you very much indeed. I do get the point. If you are listening to all of it, then you're getting these shows repeated too often. My mistake. I will sort that out for you within the next few days, or maybe within the next week. Just giving myself a bit of time to do that. And we will put in collections of the shows and double up some of the shows for you. So you've got, say, like Dawn's Diorama, where she does just one show a week, and we'll put an extra Dark City in and so forth. You know what I mean? So we'll try and balance it out a little bit better for you. Right then. So what I was saying is about the numbers. Mikey P, I think you want to say something. Do you want to say something? Do you want to get in here nice and early and introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm new to Darkcity and I'd just like to introduce myself. My name's Mike, nickname's Mike here. I like to look up the truth and stuff and share like my opinions. I'm not saying they're the truth, but it's my opinion, and I don't think the government are telling us the truth. I think they're lying to us. So yeah, from there, that's pretty much my outlook on it, really. So
you could we actually say that you're actually a secret
magical turtle.
Well, apparently the server's now saying that you're a magical turtle. You might not know about the magical turtles, Mikey, so let me introduce you to them. There are actually magical turtles kicking about all over the website, and they can be seen heard on many sound samples. Of course, this is Zach, from Zach and What Army, and you can look him up on YouTube or Facebook and stuff. It's good stuff. So yeah, people who seek the truth within, you see, are kind of magical turtles, and we've all got a little magical turtle. So yeah, I deem you as a magical turtle. It's a little bit loud, actually. It was a bit loud, that, from the server, wasn't it? I can turn him down a little bit. It's a bit loud for us.
I'll get my headband on. I'll be a Ninja Turtle.
A Ninja Turtle, yeah. Why not, indeed? Why not? So welcome to you, anyway. Welcome to you, man. It is a case of that. Just click the button and go to www.darkcityradio.com and click the blue Skype button. If you've got Skype installed, you'll be with us. Also, you can click the enter chat, as I said, and that'll take you through to the IRC chat room, which is a text chat room. Now, what we've been sorting out with Dan, McDonald, myself, Lee, Chris Sparky, and a few others, Saduma. You've not heard much from us for a while, but, well, me, you get too much of me, I would imagine. But, yeah, we've been sorting out the Mumble server, or the Mumble voice protocol, or whatever they're going to call it. And that is an alternative to Skype. And I'd just like to let you know we got that working. And also we have now got audio coming back through from the server. So the servers can actually speak now live rather than the massive delay we have had before. So I can do things like this.
Just stop it! Stop doing that!
Which is, of course, Chunky Mark, and the artist, poet, taxi driver. And we can throw those things in. So it's a good bit of fun that we can throw the samples in now. Because we couldn't hear them. I know you listeners could, but we couldn't. Anyway, very loose topic, and this show kind of came in because, I actually just typed to Dawn, because a few people have missed a few shows, and they haven't let us know. And the only thing that we ask is, you let us know beforehand, give us a bit of notice, we can do something about it. Tell us about the news and the information before, if you can. Let us know, and maybe we might be able to do something about it. Don't come complaining, whinging and bitching at us after the fact. Okay? Nothing we can do. Too late. Hey. So yeah, pretty much everything goes on Dark City Radio. I don't think I've ever said no yet. Might have done a couple of times, actually. Now when I think back, yes, I have said no a couple of times. But, you know, it's not about myself saying yes or no anyway. I've always liked to try and make it, you know, the crew makes. There's nobody really makes a decision. It depends who's there on the day. You know, depends who's about on the day. So yeah, let us know if you're gonna want to do a show, you want to do a show. If you don't want to do a show, that's fine. That's cool as well, you know. So yeah, we've had some real good stuff happen there. We've made some leaps really with the issues we've had with the server. You may have noticed if you've been listening just recently, we're having a lot less problems with things dropping out. The stability's getting a lot better. It is cool. There's a lot less work to do. Makes it smoother. People can relax, and we can get on with having a damn good laugh on the radio, getting our information out, rather than struggling around and, you know, to keep things working and so forth. So, some good steps. Rick Simpson's taking a chunk of time out. It's a really good thing he does that. He's important to the hemp movement. I'm sure everyone agrees. Whether you're pro or against, he's a great chap, and definitely knows his stuff, really does. So yeah, we'll be hearing from Rick. He is still going to come in. We are going to always fly the Wednesday banner for Rick's show. We don't know it. I mean, what will happen with the Saturday shows yet? We're going to do it this week, I think. And we'll do Wednesday, because myself, Lee, I know Lee, and there was quite a few others at the time. Chris, who's been calling in quite a lot, all put their hands up and said, no, we'll keep it going. There's enough of us. So yeah, the guy from Phoenix Tears, JB, do we call him BJ? Excuse me, I got that the wrong way around. I'm not going to try and pronounce his name. And great to have him, because a wealth of information regarding that. So Rick's taking time out, as I say, but the show definitely to go on. And as much support as we can. We need to kind of show this. We need to show Rick this, because Rick is tuning in. Rick does tune in to Dark City, especially when it's the Rick Simpson show and he's not on it. Trust me. Trust me. So yeah, it'd be nice to show Rick that we can do that. And the other shows, you know, we've had some, Dawn's with us, and Dawn's pulled it out week after week. Also Jabber, he's pulled it out week after week. Shame about this Monday. We did know about it. Yeah, that's what we'd like to know. Let us know beforehand. We can let you know out there the show's not going on. And that's it. We've all got a chance to do a round table maybe, or do something else, you know. So yeah, fair play to Jabber. Is rescheduled. It's rescheduled. I know a lot of people were looking forward to this, the Octagon. And its origins, all the way back from Egypt right to the modern day times. I've seen this guy's work. And yeah. And not just that show, but other shows he's put on. Like I say, with Dawn, a lot of people don't realise that there's a lot of time goes into a single show, an hour show. You know, you've got to study it, you've got to find out. We don't all know everything about everything. You have to go off and find out what to say. So yeah, big thanks to all them people that do put the time in. What's it called then? What's what called then? Are they having a different conversation, eh? All right. Excuse me. They're having a different conversation in chat. So, yeah, I can see Dave's got his hand up there. Oh.
No, we're not. We're actually just wanting to clarify, is the Rick Simpson show still going to be called the Rick Simpson Show while he's absent?
Yes.
Right, that's fine.
I reckon. We might change it to the Not Rick Simpson Show.
The Rick Simpson's Away show.
Come back, Rick Simpson Show. We miss you.
We miss you, Rick. Between 7 and 9 every Wednesday on Dark City Radio. Join in.
Oh,
Or the Rick Simpson free-for-all.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of things. We actually said a while ago, right, Rick is the man, and there's nobody can you can't put a light next to Rick with this information, regarding the Delta 9 position of THC and stuff, he's been on it for so long, hasn't he? However, there's a lot more to it. What we can call the hemp movement goes down many rabbit holes. There seems to be this big thing about it. Oh well, cannabis is illegal because it's good for you, or whatever argument they've got this week. Because it's not as good as cheese. It's crazy. So yeah, there's a hell of a lot more in it than meets the eye. And I'm not going to go right into it all now, but it'd be nice to cover some more sides of this rather than just the medical uses of it, because it is a phenomenal plant, and this knowledge it can't be lost, as there is with the new information that's coming through and the new techniques. When we implement them with old ideologies, then we come up with things like aquaponics, closed loop systems. That's what actually happens when we can put the old and the new together. So yeah, I'd like to be stretching that out into the other realms of the paper industries, the petrochemical industries, not just the pharmaceuticals, because it isn't just the pharmaceuticals, and the media corporates who blatantly lie. They're not covering the truth. The news associations, which are blatantly covering up. And then the government bodies that are licensing the growing of this, as long as you're a member of their club and are prepared to pay them big dollars, and you can set yourself up with hundreds of thousands of pounds, if not millions of pounds worth of equipment to satisfy them. Again, taking this completely out of the hands of the little man. Of course, cannabis is grown in Britain under licence by the government to their friends. I think they're big pharma, aren't they? Dawn might tell us on that. Dave, come on, man, get in, bro.
Yeah, my reason for just coming on tonight and just wanting to contribute to the show is, I guess, I wanted to touch on a few things you've been talking about there, Chunky Mark and a few things. But yesterday, I was in the courtroom and I was trying to tell a security guard something that was completely and utterly the truth, about the National Health Service, which, has been privatised and stuff. And it just occurred to me, I had my both sons with me, and I was showing, I was trying to demonstrate to them that even when you're telling somebody the absolute truth, that, and they can go and look at the facts and they can go and look into what you're saying. This guy was practically, I'm not going to cover what happened in the courtroom itself because I'll save that for my show Thursday, but because it's kind of not the right subject. But this guy was practically mocking me, like laughing at me, like as if I was a complete nutter. I might be slightly nuts, but this guy was just mocking me, and it was great to be able to demonstrate to, my sons the response of people, and it saddened me. I felt like I had the weight of the world on my shoulders last night, because I just feel, I'm not making a difference. I'm not helping people, and it really saddens me. And then, I start sort of like I'm a big fan of the Rick Simpson stuff, and just looking at some of the videos and such like, and you just see, they get like 30 or 40,000 views, and I know that's a tremendous amount of views. But then you look at some idiot falling off a skateboard, and they've got 2 million views, and it's a very disheartening way forward. And with Chunky Mark, I went up to the Pig Push and spent the day when he was sort of trying to raise attention for the National Health Service, and I thought there'd be hundreds of people there. I really did. And I got there at 8 o'clock in the morning where he was starting, and he was stood there, and there were 2 other people there, and myself, Matthew, and Ali were the only ones who sort of were there from the start. And I was talking, and it was just kind of, we were pointing out that people just don't have the time. They've got whatever, we talk about they, but we seem to have come to a point in lives where we're just so busy running around just to survive, just to get by, to keep a roof over our head, that we don't have time to even concern ourselves with these things. And I just, when you touched on him and you were saying about the news not telling the truth and one thing or another, I know Mickey P wants to get in there as well, but just think about this for a moment. What do you think our country would be like if instead of the BBC 6 o'clock news, we had the BBC Sucks O'Clock news every night with Mark McGowan? What do you think? Because that's genuinely what people believe is what they hear on the news. Like, how different would our country be if Chunky Mark was Prime Minister and Chunky Mark was doing the news every night? And it's just, I don't know, I just feel very useless at the moment in what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to help people with. It's just saddening that our own family members won't believe. Like, I'm trying to get my cousin to look at, Rick Simpson stuff, and I posted some stuff on a Facebook page, and she removes it within minutes. And like, I look tonight, and pardon my language, there's a fucking photo of a plate on there, and somebody talking about a plate. What the fuck? A plate? I just posted a video of a baby who'd been treated. He's got brain cancer, and he's been treated by Rick Simpson's hemp oil, and he's improving. It's a really heartening story. And there's a fucking plate on Facebook, and she removed this heartening story for a blue and white plate. What sort of mentality? What are we heading for? How are we gonna die of ignorance? That's what I ask you. So I'll let Mickey P jump in. That's my little rant for the moment. I will be back there with more rants.
Did they have a value on the plate, Dave?
It looks shit to me.
Was it?
Have you
got a link for that plate?
I told her so. It's Donna Jones is her Facebook page.
I'll have a link to it. I'll value it for you.
Yeah, just go on there and put a comment on there.
What do you think the government's plan is then? Is it because they can't put tax on it? Like when you're talking about hemp oil and cannabis and like marijuana and stuff, do you think like the basis office is basically because the government can't put a tax on it, they don't want it to be administered to people, that it's actually got curable causes?
No.
It's actually good for
No,
people.
I don't think so.
No, I don't either. Definitely not. Not at all. It's nothing to do with it whatsoever.
So why are they hiding it then from the public?
Because
It would wreck so many industries.
Yeah, they're actually money, man. It's just really boils down to money.
What's with the masquerade then? So what's the real truth behind the masquerade of it? Why is it shielding it from it?
Money.
Can I add to that, Paul?
Of course you can.
Go for it.
What you want to think about is if you take what hemp oil can achieve and what it has achieved, okay? You've got the diet industry. Think how much money the diet industry, Bannatyne's gyms, these big corporate concerns with chains of health food and diet food, and every fucking New Year there's a video that you have to dance around to, some star that's just chiseled a load of weight off themselves and they do a video. The medicine industry, the staff that surround the medicine industry, it is endless. The money is absolutely endless. It's the corporations, again, that are the problem. Imagine the damage that hemp oil would do to those big corporations. It is billions and billions and billions and billions. Go on, that's my rant.
Yeah, well, you've got that. You've got cancer, not necessarily the cancer research and cancer charities. I think he's getting paid £150,000 a year, the head of the cancer charity. You've got the petrochemical industry. Hemp can be used to make fuel for cars, no problems at all. Ethanol can be produced from it. You've got the wood pulp paper industry, the paper industry, clothing, cotton. You use a lot less water. I can't remember what it is. It's a ridiculous amount less water in the production of paper from hemp than you do from wood. There's less chemicals used, less in the bleaching agents than there actually are. And the end, it just goes on and on and on. Carbon layoff of hemp is 5 times what it is of trees. What it takes, I think it's 10 years for trees to do, hemp can do in a year. It's phenomenal. You take that. Now, they're terrified of it. It's fear, I would say. Not just money, although I go money. It's fear. They are terrified that they will be out of business, they won't have work, they won't be able to pay the mortgage, they won't have food, the children, they won't be able to pay for healthcare. They're exactly the same as most other people are scared of. What they don't realise is, if we implemented hemp worldwide now, we wouldn't have the issues we've got. We wouldn't have a shortage of fuel. We wouldn't have a shortage of anything at all. And don't start going down the lines of, oh, well, everybody would be growing hemp and then there'd be no room for food, just like we heard with biofuel. It's preposterous. It really is. So yeah, this is where I would like to go with it. Again, on Rick's show, there is a lot of people out there who are promoting hemp in loads of different ways. And although Rick is a spearhead, you know, the fact that this stuff can actually put the body into a position where it's the physical body is able to heal cancer. I suggest it works on, well, we've looked at the cannabinoid system in the body, massive. So anyway, before I go into that rabbit hole, which I could spend hours waffling on about, let's get our Dawn up here. Dawn, come on, love, get in there.
Hello! Good evening, everybody. So yeah, I just wanted to bring something up which is not exactly related, as maybe in an indirect way, but I suppose it's to do with health, really. I do some research. I'm really interested in the blood types and whatnot, because I'm rhesus negative and what. So I do a lot of research to do with that. Now, the other day I happened to be looking for something and found something totally, which was some quite interesting information. Now, if you have AB blood, if you're AB blood, then you are not less likely to be copper deficient than if you have like A by itself, B by itself, or O by itself. Now, if you're copper deficient, then that means that you're prone to getting a lot of about 90% of the really serious diseases out there, like diabetes or cancer. You're not always going to get it, don't get me wrong, but you might get affected by at least one of them. Like, anyway, there was a big list, but if you Google it, right, because I can't really quote it off the top of my head at the moment, but there is a huge list of diseases that can be caused by copper deficiency. So, if you're one of those blood types that I mentioned there, A by itself, B by itself, or O by itself, make sure you're getting enough copper in you, but make sure you're getting the right balance, because if you take too much, it can be really bad for you. So I would definitely, that's something worth investigating further. And copper-rich foods are things like seaweed, spirulina, has got a lot of copper in it, mushrooms, shiitake, I don't know how to pronounce it, dried mushrooms, cocoa, dry powder, unsweetened nuts, cashew nuts, different varieties of beef, liver, cooked, pan-fried if you're not vegetarian, obviously. And there's a big long list. Seeds, sunflower seeds, Brazil nuts. So it's actually quite interesting, because a lot of problems that we have with our health is because we don't have enough of the right vitamins in our body. We have a deficiency, and that can cause these. And it all links, it's all relative, because obviously the hemp oil is helping people's health. There's a lot of evidence out there to prove that. So yeah, obviously it's not just hemp oil, but there is other things that you can take, like to boost your health. And I just wanted to put that out there. So who's next? Dave?
Yeah, it's just so interesting though that how frustrating it is to try and get these messages to people. Like, I just don't know. The movie Thrive. What on earth will it take? Well, what on earth will it take to get this information to people? What can we do? Like, we see all these people, thousands and thousands of people turn out for this race for life and a relay for life. I mean, that is just turning into another money-making sort of racket or whatever, and people genuinely feel that they're making a difference by doing that, and they pin a message on themselves and they dress in pink and they run around and they raise all this money. They've no idea. Nobody's done the research on how much money actually gets through to the research, and then what a slap in the face to know that there's already been so much research and so much proof that the hemp oil is working. Like, what do you do? Do you go and attend these, Race for Life things with leaflets and pin them under, windscreen wipers? What do you do? Do you go door? If I really thought that going on a pilgrimage, going door to door, trying to get people to wake up, to exactly what's going on in the world and the sort of messages we're trying. Yeah. Like, what if I thought that would work? I'd do it, but I think that people would literally go, "Oh, that's a load of rubbish," and chuck it in the bin. Even when you are presented with the truth, the absolute truth that people can go and research and look at, they want to believe that it's a load of crap. They want to believe that it's wrong. So what can we do? What can we do? Somebody give me some sort of hope that we can, that we can wake people up.
Ban television.
That's a good one. That's a good. Chunky Mark sucks a cock's news every night.
Yeah.
The only broadcast.
And we need to fracture people's faith in the media, because they've got this massive faith in the media.
We've always got this, though, haven't we?
And now, broadcasting from multiple ground stations across the planet, this is Darkcity Radio.
Don't you think that's the cheesiest jingle in the world?
I like the stop it.
Who's
Stop
that
doing
talking
that.
on there then? I like the crackpot idea.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely brilliant. I really do like it. Just as a matter of interest, you may have noticed, Dawn, when you were speaking there, my apologies, that the Darkcity radio server started to talk to you like Dan and Sudama, and they're actually on Mumble. It was my error. I just clicked it, and lo and behold, it worked. For a moment, we could actually hear them speaking live on air. So
I didn't hear it.
Didn't you hear them? I don't know
No.
if they're actually talking there at the moment. Let me see if I can see any little red light. They're not actually speaking, but I should be able. Just 1 second, if I click this on. No, you may be able to hear me coming through the other server. But now I'm actually talking to you via Mumble, which is completely free, open source software. And now other people can gather in that room and so forth. We can use that. Anyway, I'll go back to talking to you normally on Skype.
Hello. Hi there. Hi, Paul.
Right, so did you get that? Those two, I just need to mute that. Those two are actually now talking to us via the Mumble server. I'll turn that off actually now because it's going to get very annoying. So there you go. It actually did work. Just so you're not confused, Dom, teach us off air about it. Well, this is kind of what the Darkcity is about. Putting this brand new conception over to other people.
Paul, can you why are you reading what I'm typing in a text? Oh, here. Never mind.
No, never mind. Correct. Carry on. Thank you.
That's the link for the blue plate, by the way, that's just come up on the chat box.
Seems to have all gone very quiet. Am I the only one in here
Just
now?
lapping up the awkward silence there.
How are you doing, Dawn?
I'm doing absolutely fine.
So what's
A
your
bit
opinion
tired.
on why don't you think we're able to get to people and change their minds on things they're not normally confronted with, like cures for
Well,
cancer?
don't ask me a deep question. I'm absolutely knackered. I can't really handle a deep question just now.
Got some hot milk.
I'm like almost comatose.
Did somebody mention the television earlier? The television?
Yeah.
Well, this is
Yeah, I
my...
said fan televisions.
It's a bad thing. I mean, what do people come home for? I mean, this is my interpretation, the television. I call it the television because you're watching lives in front of your face on the vision, on the screen.
Yeah.
It's like people, yeah, like civilians, like the brainwashed public, they'll order a Chinese meal, lagers in the fridge, and invite friends round to sit round to watch a acted thing like EastEnders, yeah? And they sit round and glorifying people's misery, like, oh, Phil Mitchell gets shot tonight, let's get the Chinese in, let's have a drink, blah, blah, blah. They're all being brainwashed, they don't even realise what's going on. They sit in front of there. They're making entertainment out of somebody's misery. And the whole purpose of it is, it's all brainwashed by the government, yeah? Because people sitting watching it, they're thinking, well, oh, no one shot my husband tonight, so my life's not so bad. So they think they're thinking that their enslaved life's better than theirs. Because they get up at 7 in the morning, they get up and get dressed, go to work, come home at 5 in the evening, have a shower, have some food. By the time they've sat watching television and being propagandaed to with subliminal messages, 9 o'clock comes, they're in the shower, they're in bed, they're tired, they wake up at 7, they're back at work. They ain't got time to research things on the internet. It's absolute BBC fodder for the morons, the asleep people. That's exactly what's going on. People don't see it. They're being brainwashed, and this is the biggest joke in it. They're paying £145 per year for a TV licence for them to brainwash them. They're paying for it.
Well, have you seen how quick people drive home to get to their televisions?
Exactly. Phil
And they've got the
Mitchell's
radio.
gonna get shot tonight. Like I said earlier as an example, Phil Mitchell's going to get shot tonight. Do you know what people do? They make entertainment out of it. What do? Let's order a Chinese and get beers in. Oh, 7 o'clock comes, the EastEnders music kicks in, yeah? They all sit round watching it. And do you know something else that makes me laugh? If you sit round and you try to spark a conversation off, what happens? This is what people do. Shh, shh, shh. Phil Mitchell gets shot tonight. Shh. Stop talking.
Can't miss my programme. Can't miss my programme.
Exactly. Shh. They even start going like, shh, shh. Don't want to miss anything. Shh. That's
telling their kids to shut up. Go to your room.
They're all brainwashed. They're all brainwashed by TV. They're even paying to be brainwashed.
Don't you think it's like a replacement community because we don't go and see the Phil Mitchell that lives in our own street anymore? We'd rather watch the one on television, and we've kind of isolated ourselves from our local community. And it's
do you know what makes me laugh about the old subject? You look at our old-fashioned living room, yeah? What used to be the focal point of the front room, it was the fire, because it's warmth, it's the heart, it's the soul of the lounge. Well, you look at any modern lounge nowadays, what is the focal point? It's the plasma TV on the wall. Is it not?
Yeah. It used to be just to one side of the fireplace. Used to be just to one side of the fireplace. You could sit down next to the fire and watch telly. And now you can't do that because it's above the fireplace. Everyone's got an aching neck now.
Right, if you look at old-fashioned pictures of a lounge, yeah, they didn't even have a TV, they had a fire. They'd face chairs in the lounge. So when people come in, and they'd use them for best, they wouldn't use them all the time. When they had like Christmas and birthdays and celebrations, and the sofas would face it. So when you were sat down, you'd be facing somebody to have a conversation, and you'd sit down. But nowadays, what's the lounge focused on? The sofas all point to the television, correct?
Yeah. Well, mine all points to the internet, which is all true.
Yeah, but it's still entertainment though, really, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's all true.
Well, it depends where you're looking and what you're putting up.
I'm joking, Mikey. It's a minefield.
Well, that's my debate on it. I'm going to mic down now and let somebody else join in. But that's my topic on the Tell Vision, and like our people are like making nice posh lounges with leather sofas, and instead of pointing the sofas to each other to talk to, or a fireplace, they're all pointing it to the Tell Vision, and that's my point.
Well, I mean, things have changed an awful lot as well. I'm an electrician. When I first started my trade back in my when I was about 16, 17. We were really wiring houses, and we put one socket next to the fireplace for the television. And 20 years later, we're putting 3 or 4 sockets in the same place. Now we're putting above the fireplace.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Have you noticed nowadays, what the fashion is nowadays? You've got your lounge there, you've got like a nice fireplace that's open, that's like coal, wood or whatever, and everybody's getting a plasma screen bracket above the fireplace.
I
So
know,
when
I'm
you sit
fitting
in
them
your
for-
sofa, you're watching the Tell Vision above the fire. Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
I'm going to mic
Yeah,
down now
yeah.
because I think I bogged it a bit and I don't want to rant on. So I'm going to mic down now. It's been nice chatting. So you lot carry on the subject.
Okay, I've got someone else to talk to. Anyone else you want to talk to?
I forgot what I was going to say. I was going to say something and I
Oh.
forgot. It'll come back to me.
I like to blame fluoride as well as television.
Well, actually, I try to filter. Actually, I don't do reverse osmosis, so I'm not really filtering that out. But I actually not.
I mean, a big advocate for just changing your toothpaste for a start. And the salt you use, because I'm led to believe that the table salt we use is pre-fluoridated, and it's had all the nutrients, the beneficial nutrients, burnt out of it. And well, once we're down on nutrients, that body starts degrading itself, starts taking out of what we've already got. We need nutrients to digest our food. If we're not getting nutrients, then you've got disease coming. And you change your salt, get something a bit more upmarket, something that's not made from modern polluted seas. Get the fluoride out of your diet, switch your fucking telly off, and you're on your way. You're on your way to seeing what the world's really like. John?
I'm
there,
going
Dawn?
I'm going to fall asleep very soon. I'm
Yeah.
practically comatose, so I'm gonna go now
Okay.
and cut my losses
nice
because I'm not fit to do another hour.
Okay, you have a nice sleep. I'll see you next couple of days.
So good night and
Bye.
all the
Bye.
best.
Cheers. Who else is still in here? Dave? Bob?
Yes.
Oh, looks
I'm
like it's just me,
Yeah,
Mikey.
I'm here. I'm here.
Someone throw a topic in then.
Mm.
I'm feeling chatty.
You feeling chatty? You want a topic?
Chatty.
Do you think our rights are being respected? There's a topic.
Oh. No?
Yeah, it's very, very. I'm gonna cover it quite in depth on Thursday. But there's some good news. We're hoping to have Guy Taylor on the show on Thursday, and they've been across with Roger Hayes in Ireland. There are common law courts being built over in Ireland as we speak. I think I sent the photos over to Paul. You saw those photos, Paul, I believe, didn't you?
Say again, excuse me, got sidetracked there, Dave.
No, that's all right. You know, the courts, the common law courts being built that I forwarded you the other day.
Yes, I did see them, yeah.
They're
Is
sort
there a
of.
call out for any help required?
They haven't at the moment. And that was another thing that sort of really disheartened me yesterday. I was looking at some of the British Constitution videos, and they're kind of trying to spread the same message and one thing and another, and we're all sort of trying to achieve, making this world a better place or the planet a better place. But there's such low views, and where are the people? Where are the frickin' advocates of what we're trying to achieve? They're like because the rights are sort of blatantly being ignored now, like our inherent rights and our, now that we're on sort of on the, now we know what the game is in court, and now we know what our capacities are and one thing and another, they're just railroading over us. They're I sent the recording again to Paul. They're just completely ignoring our rights. The judge ran out of the room yesterday within, I don't know, 3/4 of a minute, and more or less said, well, I haven't got any rights. And I just, like how much, what is the tipping point? Where's the tipping point where people will start to sort of go against the grain? Do we want the tipping point? Will there be, riots on the street? That's the last thing we need. Like, what's going to happen? Where is this going to lead?
I think it's commonly referred to as the fuck it point, isn't it?
Yeah. But when is that
People
point?
they've not got enough left to lose to carry on behaving.
Yeah, it's just, and it's scary. We were, I was talking to Barry quickly last night at about 11:45. I got back after yesterday, and then I got a phone call saying that my ex-wife's father had died in his chair. So I got back in at like 11:45 after dealing with all that, and I was speaking to Barry, and he said that in America he'd been watching stuff closely develop in America, and they're like right on the tipping point of complete civil unrest. Where is it going to go? What the powers that be want? Do they want civil unrest? Is that what they're trying to achieve? Because that's one of my big concerns, that we're gonna, all of a sudden there's gonna be like, idiots out rioting on the street and burning things down, which is completely, imagine if all of those people put their energy into studying Rick Simpson hemp oil, or maybe learning about their rights, or I don't know, just imagine if that energy could be transferred into something positive, something worthwhile, instead of just outright, it's frustration caused that, so what do we do? I just don't know what I can do to improve everything.
There's always going to be a certain number of people who choose to do all those different things. But I can see the concern that we want as many people awake and aware as possible if anything does happen, if and when anything does change radically in our society.
And what do we do about when we're trying to tell, when we're clearly showing people the truth and they don't want to know? I don't know. I did just while I'm on there, I did put the link for the blue plate on the chat box in case anybody wants to go and look at it and maybe leave a comment. But it's like our own family members, and Paul touched on something before. He said they would maybe listen to it if somebody else said it, but if you tell your own family member something, this is not good, or the news is lying to you, or anything about a false flag, anything you're trying to get a message across, they just don't want to know. They just like.
Well, I had a friend come around earlier on, and he's just recently become aware, and he doesn't know I'm aware. And he just came round earlier on. He's been aware for a couple of weeks, and he absolutely spewed all this talk out on me, constant, non-stop for half an hour. And I just wanted to run away. I just wanted to get away because it was just hurting my brain, hearing all these facts being spewed at me. So I think it is the delivery. We've got to make it not boring, and really try very fucking hard to make it interesting and not boring. So I'm a big advocate for art. I think if you can put it in art, people will stop and look and appreciate the art, and the message it'll go across without getting thrown straight back at you, or without a yawn. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose that's like the performance art that Chunky Mark does. He tries to sort of make people, like he's using frustration, I suppose, as part of his performance. But when you actually talk to him in person, he says all of his family don't want to know. His family are not remotely interested. They just don't even want to listen to him. And I went to that, to the pig push thing, Where's Daddy's Pig, or whatever it was called, thinking that he'd have like a support of his, wife and such like. I thought that she'd be sort of standing firm with him and there supporting him, but evidently she just doesn't want to know. She just, like, no, she just,
It's strange.
Like, he
So
actually said
strange.
himself that that she's not interested, and neither are his family. So, yeah, it's surprising.
Yeah, well, neither of my family interested. I've got a young girl, young daughter, 11 years old. She's got diabetes. It's the type that's on and off. I'm not sure whether that's type 1 or type 2. And I've suggested a few dietary issues, dietary improvements, and she will not pay a blind bit of attention. In fact, because the relationship ended bad, anything I say now is she wants to think of the opposite. So if I say, healthy food, feed the kids healthy food, she'll do the opposite just to spite me.
Reverse psychology, then. Tell her what you don't want her to do, and she'll do what you do want her to do.
Yeah, this is the line I'm going along now. I've told her I'm going to work on a health farm in Spain, and she'd asked what does it cure, and I said, I'm not telling you. You do your own research. You find it. It's on the internet. It's all over there. What we're going to do. Go and find it yourself. So I've left intrigue into the situation, and hopefully curiosity will make her look a bit further. You've got to handle different people in different ways. Different people are receptive, and we've got to speak in their language.
I kind of now I've resorted on the Facebook to kind of saying, look, you don't look at this. Put your head in the sand. It won't interest you. Don't bother looking at it. Put your head in the sand all the time. Ranting around. I'm sure I upset people on a regular basis, but I'm just trying to make people think, make people just actually use the thought process again instead of just letting stuff be programmed into them and believing all that they're told, by the media, by the mainstream media.
You can do a great job by telling just a little bit of information, leaving a cliffhanger. And these people, if you give them a good way of remembering it, tell a little story about it, they'll go home and Google it. If you tell them the whole story, there's no need for them to research. You've got to tell them a little bit.
Yeah, it's I'm trying everything at the moment because I do feel so, useless.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. Very difficult.
Paul, back to you. We've got an awkward silence.
Silence.
Really? I can chat that for you if you like. TV license, eh, Mikey?
Yeah, good
TV license. Go on, mate.
I don't pay one. Pardon?
Do you want the TV license, mate?
No, I don't. I refuse to pay it, and I told them. They sent me a letter and says, we will not bother you for 2 years. Because when I rang them, I went absolutely apeshit and said, I refuse to sponsor paedophiles. And they sent me a letter saying, we will not bother you for 2 years. And they've not rang me since or sent a letter. And that's how I like it. And I refuse to pay them.
But you don't watch telly though, Mikey.
Do you know that their TV license has been reclassified as a tax?
Of course, it's always been a tax, but they've not admitted it. Yeah,
No, they've actually it's been properly classified as a tax now. On I will think of what.
It comes under the Telecommunications Act. Acts are not law, so I refuse to pay it because
they've actually reclassified it now as tax.
Oh, they've changed it now.
Yeah, they've reclassified it lately. It's I'll think of the website it's on now. It's on a main government website as classified as a tax.
Right,
I'll look it up. I'll look it up while you have a rant about it.
Well, I don't pay one. I'm sat looking at a TV now. I'm not paying for it. I refuse to pay it. I'm not going to sponsor paedophiles like the BBC at the end of the day. That's who you pay the TV licence to. They covered up for Jimmy Savile and all sorts, like a paedophile ring. Do you think I'm going to put my hand in my pocket and pull out my hard-earned money and give them £145 per annum and fund paedophiles?
Better off watching the YouTube.
Yeah, well, there's rumours that they're going to make a new licence for YouTube and you're going to have to pay. Have you not heard about that one? I reckon they're going to start charging people.
Is that
going to
be
pay for the channels you subscribe to on YouTube to watch them?
Really?
Well, I'll probably.
We'll all evolve somewhere else then. Evolution will kick in and we'll move to somewhere else.
Well, I certainly don't wish to fund paedophiles to sit in front of the TV and watch the BBC. No thanks.
No, I don't blame
Is
you.
it?
Well,
Well-
I've got a television.
Well, one of the
So
things
it
that
was
made me laugh
actually,
about the BBC.
My TV was actually left behind. It's not even my television, actually. It's a little portable TV. It's on a wall bracket fastened up into my back bedroom. It's not been switched on now for over 3 years.
Good.
I've never dusted it. I've never cleaned it. I've never wiped it once. I'm waiting for the TV licence man to come round and try and plug it in. It'll set on fire. I will video it and film it. Of course, I never watched TV. I have seen TV, and I used to have a TV licence here at the house.
Yeah.
When I got divorced, my ex-wife sent me the TV licence back. That's what I got in the divorce. I got a TV licence.
Bonus present.
Of course, I now know better. I now know better. I would not support such an organisation and do what I can not to.
Yeah.
I do appreciate many people don't know what we know and so forth. So, yeah, I wouldn't support them.
I'm told that it's on the Office of National Statistics' website, Office of National Statistics. So you can go look it up. It would bore me silly.
Yeah, but here's the
If
thing.
more people...
No, go on, who was talking to her?
Go ahead, Mikey, go ahead.
Right, here's the thing, when you live in the UK, yeah, right, what happens is if you don't buy a TV licence, they can tell by your address, you haven't registered, blah, 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 you haven't paid the TV licence, it's outstanding on the address. So what they do is, they send these little bailiff, little wankers round to your address, knock on the door, and what they do is, they knock the door. But if you've got off a brain, what you do is, what is your only right as being a UK citizen? If the police stop you, here it is, I'll retort it to you. You have the right to remain silent, but anything you do say will be used against you. So what's your best option? Keep your mouth shut, yeah? So when you deal with TV licence and they come knocking your door, yes, they might turn up with the police, but this is what people don't realise. When the police turn up with TV licensing, they're a peacemaker. They're there to make sure that nobody beats anybody up and the peace is kept. Here's the thing, the TV licenses have a warrant to search premises, but if their warrant was as powerful as the police, they wouldn't knock your door, they'd kick the door in and come in. They can't do that. So what is your best option? Ignore the door. Even when the police are with them, ignore the door. And when they invite you to court, a summons is an invitation. And if it's an invitation, then decline the invitation by ignoring it. What they're going to do? And it makes me laugh. The BBC send muscly men to intimidate you. It's bully boy tactics. Ignore them. Don't give them nothing. Don't appear at court. And the way to beat the TV licensing department is by ignoring them. Even when they knock your door, ignore it. Turn your TV up and ignore the door. That's what I do. That's what I'd do. Turn your TV
Or
up.
stick your head out the window and say...
It.
Stick your head out the window and say, do you mind? I'm trying to watch the telly.
Can you fuck off? I'm trying to watch the football, you knobhead. Tell them you're watching it. They've got to actually get a photograph of you in your lounge watching it. They have to, or either you have to invite them in like being an umpteen. Say, yes, come in, TV licence officer. I haven't got a TV licence. Is this the lounge? Yeah, it's the lounge. Oh, is that Emmerdale Farm you've got? Oh, right, yeah, you've broken your promise there. We're going to take you to court. Obviously, use your brain, don't let them in. Even if they come with the police, they say they've got a warrant. Well, as far as I know, if the police have a warrant for my address, whether I ignore the door or not, they'll kick it in, and they'll come in. But when the TV licensing people come in, they can't kick your door in, and do you know something else that's prominent to this case? Nobody in this history of the earth that's not paid a TV licence yet, that they've found out to not have one, and they've even been to a court of law, the kangaroo court, yeah? And guess what? Nobody that's never had a TV licence that's been caught has been convicted of a criminal record. So does that not prove it's not illegal to not have a TV licence? Because if it was illegal to not have a TV licence, you would go to prison and get a criminal record. Well, you ask anybody that's been prosecuted for not having a TV licence, guess what? They haven't had a criminal record and they haven't been to court. What does that tell you? And on that rant, that's me finished. What do you think about that?
Touching on the warrant aspect of it, when these people come around and claim to have a warrant, they may have a warrant. They may have something in their hand that says warrant, even if it's stamped by the court. It may say warrant on it.
Can't come into your property though.
But what is it a warrant of? You will find, even with the electricity companies, gas companies, etc., it's never a warrant of entry. A warrant of entry is extremely difficult to get. They're not going to give it to every numpty that goes before them, you know.
And then here's another one that I like to go on. Sorry to interrupt you. You can continue after.
No, go on.
All right. I've got no contract with the BBC. I haven't signed anything to say when my contract of the yearly subscription to the BBC Corporation, you paedophile bastard, yeah. When the year subscription's up, I promise to pay you the sum of £145 to renew my licence. Here's my signature. I haven't made them anything. I don't owe them anything. Where's the contract? No contract, no case. When they send letters, write on the envelope, no contract, no case, return to sender. Job done. What are they going to do about it?
For the most part now, what they're doing is they're just complete that. Like, this is sort of the subject matter of my Thursday night show.
Okay.
They pretty much sort of ignore everything that you say. But with the TV license, you know, I'm sure you've all seen the letter. Whatever you are watching, however you are watching it, you need a license. Well, I got on the wine now one evening and I drafted them a letter on the computer, just, you know, and I pointed out that they'd said that in their letter. And that I hadn't got a telly and blah, blah, blah. But I said, it states on your letter that whatever I'm watching, however I'm watching it, I need a license. So I said, you know, my partner's very attractive. Sometimes I watch her do a strip before she comes to bed. Do I need a license for that? And I said, you know, sometimes I like to watch the food cooking in the oven to check that it's cooking okay. Do I need a license to watch that? When I'm traveling along the road in my car, sometimes I like to watch the road. Do I need a license for that? Just like
Basically,
reply to these letters with the stupidity in which they're written. And
I had a good argument with him. If you read the terms and conditions of the TV licensing, it says this: you need to buy a TV license. You ready for live broadcast? Well, I had a big dispute with them. I rang them up on the phone and they didn't know what to say. Listen to this. What does live mean to you? We're having a live conversation now, correct? We're speaking live. Well, do you know, even when the news is live, there's a 10-minute delay, and do you know why? It's in case some weird pervert gets all his clothes off and gets naked and runs by the camera. There's a 10-minute delay. The BBC do not publish any live broadcasts for that purpose. So why are we paying a TV? You read the terms and conditions. You need a TV licence for live broadcasts. They don't publish anything that's live. It's got a 10-minute delay. It's a recording, correct?
Yeah, that is correct.
Jimmy Savile might run past. What does live mean to you? We're speaking live now, yeah?
Well, I believe there's a website that's designed for students who can't afford TV licenses called TV Catch Up, and the way they get around the law is that it isn't live. It's broadcast 5 or 10 minutes in advance.
Exactly. Yep.
What I'm trying to teach people.
If they can do it.
Yeah,
what I'm trying to teach people is that these acts and statutes, you know, they say
require consent. They require consent.
But even more than that, if you read the constitutions, they apply to government only. I keep banging on and on and on and on. They apply to government and the Crown only.
Workers.
There's only one thing I can add, guys, to TV license inspectors. There's one thing I would like to know. What does it taste like barbecued?
You need garlic.
You need garlic, right? Yeah.
Even when they're not barbecued.
I'm actually beginning to think. I mean, they don't really bother me too much now. These people, you know, these so-called positions of authority they place themselves into.
Well,
I had a gentleman knock on my door today, asking me if I wanted to save children. I actually told him I supported no one. actually made their money on the misfortune of others. And he looked shattered when I said it, because of course I was talking directly to him, not to the corporation. No longer do I accept this argument of, well, I'm just doing what I've been told, or I am in a position that my superiors have told me to be in. No, that's not good enough. It's not an acceptable answer. I accept many people use the word sorrow. You will ring up these organisations, have I had many times myself. Their admission of guilt in the word of sorrow, that's what it is. If they're telling you they're sorry and asking you for your forgiveness, you can just tell them quite clearly that forgiveness and sorrow are not acceptable methods of payment. Straight away. I use them as simply as, what can I say? Something to entertainment. They're there for entertainment. Surely, I mean, you get the point that the television isn't real. It isn't real. It's for entertainment. It's to entertain people, to occupy you, to give you something to do, something you can enjoy and actually maybe learn from, and to expand your life and to fulfill it further. We see this quite clearly, that it's not real. What the one-eyed demon in the corner of the room, the cathode-rayed nipple, it's not real.
Propaganda. That's it.
It's not, well, what's propaganda? The fact that what the television's telling you is not real. I mean, propaganda about what? Propaganda about what? Some people who think they're in a position of authority they believe is real, that have the ability to rule over the people here, and they put that onto the television and the people actually believe them?
Well, yeah, they put the costume on, it's like a suit and a tie for the government.
Can you not see the law is the same?
Well, yeah, it backs it up, don't it? Yeah.
It's just the same. It's again, just many people are told a certain thing by these people in a position of law. Television.
Yeah,
the television tells them. Yeah. The television tells them, and they believe. They believe that it's real, and then they empower it with their actions, and then they all complain about the facts that they've empowered it by their actions.
A mind prison.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Good point, Paul. That was a good one. That was good.
You can lay it over and over again, of course. You can say, use the same analogy, I suppose. Yeah. In our social behaviour, how we behave socially, I mean, we're brought up to that people who are older know more. Older people know more. In my experience, the older you get, the more rigid and bigoted and singular-minded you can become.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
The more time and energy you put into whatever it is you're putting your time and energy in, the more you're prepared to defend it. Until a point where you've got so much, you're prepared to defend it with your life. I mean, I ask any single person that is prepared to defend anything with their life, what good is it if you are unsuccessful in your defence?
Can I jump in there, please, Paul?
Is there anything here which is really worth fighting for? Jump in.
Can I jump in there, please, Paul?
Yes, go, jump.
Right. The BBC, they reckon they administer the licence because they do not advertise, right? Well, I've rang them on several occasions and had big disputes with them. If you watch the TV show EastEnders, and when people walk into the local shop, you can see brands in there, blatant as day. There's Cadbury's, there's Sunkist, Orange. You go by the market stall, there's boxes and things like that. And then I got deeper into it. Something I found very peculiar. Do you know when these news reporters appear on site? Fair enough, it's cold. I don't care if it's cold. But one thing that stuck out to me is that every single news reporter wear a certain brand of clothing. They're all wearing North Face jackets, and it's not cheap. And here's the thing. What is an advertisement? It's a brand appearing on the television. Is that not advertisement? Well, I had an argument with him. I says, well, what are you doing? Every time I watch the news, I see every report. Yeah, go on.
It wasn't me. It was the other server. It was.
Right. Let me finish off my rant.
Carry on, yeah. Carry on.
Right. When these news reporters appear on the TV, yeah, the television, yeah, they're all wearing this. What's the chances? Do you know if you went to a local factory and you got all the workmen out and says, "Oh, it's cold out. Put your coats on. Come outside." What are the chances that every single person that works in that establishment that comes outside because it's cold have all got the same brand jacket on? I don't think so. Some will have Nike, I have Adidas, Puma, Reebok, Umbro, plain jackets, not even branded. But every single news reporter for the BBC wear a certain brand, and it's either North Face, and what's the other one? I'm trying to think. There's another brand. It's like Antarctic material. Can't think. Well, what's the chances they've all got the same? If they're not being paid to sponsor it, why is every member of the BBC wearing it? And here's the thing. Do you know when you watch things like Big Brother, and somebody's like a member of the house and they've got a branded jacket on, what do? They put black tape over the brand to hide the brand because it's advertisement. Well, what do the BBC do? Nothing. They expose it blatantly. North Face jackets. What's the chances that you're owning a workplace and you've got 500 members of work people and they all walk out on a tea break and they're all wearing Nike or Adidas or Reebok or Puma? I don't think so, do you? There's my rant.
If I had a clothing company that made coats, I'd get 20 of them made, take it straight down to the BBC outside the broadcast office, give them to them.
Exactly. Do you get where I'm coming from?
I would. I'd do the same, just after dipping them in liquid LSD first.
Do you get where I'm coming from, though, people?
That'll be an interesting news show, wouldn't it? Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, Mikey.
Am I making sense?
Perfect sense. You are making perfect sense. But just a point here, Mikey. A point, right?
Okay.
Is it worth all the time and energy we put into these? You know, because they just feed on it, man. They love it. They love us focusing our energy on them any way they can, man. And I know I've been there myself, man. I really have. And it's something that kind of clicks in my head so many times. How can I stop giving them anything? Do you know?
Can I jump in?
Go on.
This is what annoys me the most. If you look at the BBC Charter, why are we paying a TV licence? Well, I've been and looked into it, and this is what it says. The BBC do not advertise products or brands. And there's a new rule that's come in place, and I've looked that up as well. Do you know if you watch Hollyoaks, yeah, they've got a new thing called product placement, yeah? Well, listen to this. If they put a P up before the programme appears and in between adverts, their actors, members of staff, can wear branded clothes, do you know, to show realism in the TV show. But under the section something or another, I can't put it off by hand, but I know I did know it. But the BBC under charter something, it's under their own charter, they can't use product placement, yeah, right? So they can't use brands. So like you watch a news report, you keep an eye out on the news, and you'll see it. You'll see some like fucking toffee-nosed wank face, and he goes, "Oh, I'm reported on this murder case today. Look at his jacket. It's not been covered up, and it's got North Face on it." If that ain't advertisement, I don't know what it is. And then here's another one. You've got the BBC. You pay a TV licence because we do not advertise. You watch a live football game. What do you think surrounding the old stadium? Billboards, Nike. What do you think the football players are wearing? Nike football boots, Puma football boots, Adidas. Is that not advertisement? A brand live on the TV. Is that not advertisement? What they're talking about?
Again.
Yeah, you did right, mate.
You're 100% right.
Stealth.
You're 100% right. But my point still stands, I feel, Mikey. Is it worth us putting the time and energy into it? Us now.
Well, I'm getting angry, but like, fair point. But like, I'm just stating like, why, in the past, why have I paid £145 for colour TV licence to fund paedophiles?
I don't know. I didn't. I paid mine, Mikey. I paid mine and I didn't even watch the telly. I don't know. Why do we do these things? Go on,
Mikey, there's only one person. Mikey?
Yeah?
There's only one person can answer that question.
What? Who?
You.
Well, I don't pay it no more.
Why did you do it?
Why did you do it?
Because I
Why
was
did
a
you do
sheep
it?
like the other people before I woke up. I was just
You didn't know, did you?
Listen. No, I didn't know.
No.
But then I woke up one day and I thought, I read their charter and I thought, what am I paying? we do not advertise. That's why you pay a TV license. And I thought, what about live football games?
Would it be right, Mikey, look, I don't know you that well, bro, but would it be right to say, once you saw it, you could see it? There's no doubt then, there were no turning back.
Yeah, no, I refuse to pay it for it. I don't care. Let them send it to me.
Once you saw it, yeah, right. Well, look, I reckon that goes for everybody else. And
people need to wake up.
When you were paying it, if somebody would have come up to you and said, "You're not paying, why are you paying that?" Blah, 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 they would have thought you were crazy. Now I just walk up to people, mate, and say to them, "Have you got a TV licence?" And they go, "Yeah." I go, "I don't want to talk to you. You're supporting a paedophile ring. Fuck off."
Yeah, exactly.
Straight away. As far as I'm concerned, this, I didn't know, well, that's fine. There's this thing called the internet. Yeah. Okay, you can plug into it. It's been around since the turn of the 21st century. It's been kicking around since about the 1980s. And earlier for some people, but it's pretty big now, and most people haven't heard of it. You need to tell them about this thing called the internet. It's built on open source material. It's completely free. It should have been free all along. It comes to you at no further expense. Once you've got a line connected to your house, the expense for the internet to actually have it in your home, it is virtually zero. You could run it off a solar panel onto your roof forever. Okay? You're being conned. We're being ripped off. The internet is free. Once the system has been put into place, just like electricity, yes, there needs to be some maintenance. We've been conned on that. We've got some company who's sending us bills who doesn't even do fuck all. Right? So we've got uploaders. We are uploaders. This is Dark City Radio. Have we said it? Oh, well, we've gone over it. It's Dark City Radio. This is Dark City Radio. And we are uploading to the internet. I think we're getting to over 270, they're all over an hour show. Some of them are 2 hours, so I don't know. There must be 400 hours now, let's say, of shows that have been uploaded to the internet, information, music, all sorts of stuff. Plus, we're uploading a live stream 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with assistance and help from the Linux Brigade, who are maybe listening in the new Mumble Room. You see, these people won't support corporates. They know they've got to use them. Skype, for instance, we're doing it. I had a big issue with why certain people like David Icke would actually, not David Icke, excuse me, Alex Jones would go on the BBC television and do what he did. I mean, he knows either his handlers set him up or he just wanted to get, his website address shouted 2 or 3 times. And it did remind me of a movie, every time you can say Bradshaw's sausages, we'll give you 10 shillings. It was like, every time he could say it, he was getting $1,000. But we are doing the same. David did. I can't remember who it was. It was somebody in the chat room. It could have, anyway, I won't mention the name for getting it wrong, but they'll know who they are. And they said to me, David's doing the same with Alex Jones is doing the same with the BBC as Dark City's doing with YouTube. 100% right. That is bang on. It's dead easy for me to go, well, why would he do that, the ignorant peasant? Do you know why would he do it? But look at the number of people who are out there on radio stations now who are all talking about not supporting the corporations that are actually supporting the corporations by doing it. Blog Talk Radio, there's some brilliant people on it. They've approached us here and asked us, well, why don't you join in with us? Because we won't support the corporation. We're not going to do it. To the best of our ability, we've got to stop. Okay, yeah, we're guilty. We are guilty, but let's be less guilty every day rather than just carrying on. I know it's only a small change. This is the reason why they got Mumble. It's not that they don't want to deal with people who use the Microsoft corporate operating systems and their software. They don't want to deal with people who are actually trying to steal the internet. Price it up, badge it up, that's it. And look at him, far. This is probably the most cleverest invention humanity's ever come across. It connects us together across the globe. The tyrants can't get away with it. They've tried to shut it down. They try and make out that the internet belongs to them and countries can turn it off. It's bollocks. There's people out there working all the time to make sure the media streams stay open. Media streams. We are a media stream. We are non-corporate to the best of our ability. How long will last? I have no idea. I have no idea how long we'll last. I don't. But, well, there's people, and I said it tonight, a lot of people miss the shows and stuff. Let us know before. And if not, be a Mikey. Ring in, put your points across, because it's your radio. It's the free media stream. It is the media stream. I'm having difficulty grasping all this. I really am. There isn't any others. We aren't perfect yet. We've got another stage further now. We mumble. It won't be long before people...
What do you think, Paul? I've made some good points tonight with the TV licence, and I'll put it across the best way I can.
Brilliant.
Why are they advertising, and they're saying that we have to pay a TV licence?
The BBC then, will you? Come
British Brainwashing Corporation.
I tell you what, I bet you they don't say Dark City Radio as many times as you've said. Your mission now, Mikey, is to get on the BBC and say darkcityradio.com more times than Alex Jones.
I'd rather piss on them.
Of course, that's a joke, man. I wouldn't send any to a file organisation. And look, everybody uses the BBC. A lot of people who work for these are as blind as me and Mikey were when we used to buy our licence. You know, they were. And I don't think it's too right that the so-called awakened, and I don't think I've woken up, I really don't. But
I'm waking. Yeah, I've got a lot to learn yet, yeah.
I really don't think we should go around so much kind of saying these people have got to wake up. It isn't easy. It's pretty terrifying. I'd suggest that you all go back to sleep and don't bother. The movement...
Go back to sleep. Switch your TV on, pay your TV licence, and get up for work in the morning and shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's right. That's what they should continue to do, and that will give us the position to be able to get this stream off the ground without all these trolls throwing stuff at us, without all the hassle. I mean, we've had some brilliant support. We really have had some brilliant support. I've talked to people in the last couple of...
I'm doing my best. I like to contribute. I'm doing my best. I'm not the brainiest of people. I don't portray myself to be, but I just want to get my opinions out there and see what people think. And that's it, really. That's all I'm trying to do.
Yeah, well, that's what it's there for. You know, and it's not just about people who talk. The whole idea of it originally was to, people who sing and who dance and people who do artwork and so forth. Artists and musicians. I mean, Chris, for instance, the jingles he's done. I mean,
they're good. Yeah, they're good.
Yeah. How many jingles have you done before you came to Dark City, Chris?
No.
How many?
None.
See what I mean?
None. I've made a few videos. I've made a few videos for my YouTube channel, but doing just audio was something different, and trying to get the point across in audio with no visuals is double the job.
Isn't it? We just lost Mikey. He'll be back. I'm sure he will. Excuse me, I need to cough.
See, the way I see it about waking people up, it's not just as easy as that. We've got a population of people walking around with hair in their eyes. And if somebody approaches that person and says, if somebody approaches you and says, mate, you've got hair in your eye, you tell them to mind your own fucking business. But you just got to be gentle. And, when someone's got hair in their eyes, you can just say, you've got a bit of hair in your eye. And they might just brush the hair out their eyes themselves, and then they'll see the world. But we can't go around brushing the hair out of people's eyes, because they don't want to be approached like these people. Not by us dirty, smelly hippies. Yeah,
well, looking at it, hey, I'm not a dirty, smelly hippie, if you don't mind at all. I'm very clean, tidy person, individual, whatever you call it.
I'm undercover dirty.
You got me now.
I'm an undercover dirty, smelly hippie person.
Yeah, you really. I have an issue with hippies. A friend of mine a while ago, he actually said to me, never trust one. Never trust a hippie. It's because they always want to share everything until they've got what they want, and then you never see them again. And it's very true. It's very true. So yeah, and never trust a hippie. I think a lot of people have got issues with the ideology of hippies. Of course,
especially if they're trying to brush hair out your eyes.
Yeah, well, they've got a lot of people sit around and say hippies, they smoke pot and they sit around and make drum circles and sing Kumbaya. Of course, what the hippies were really talking about is vibrational state, how to raise your personal or individual vibrational state, to, expand your consciousness, or even contract it. I would go on the contraction of consciousness. You compress it all and then you can fit more in. But it doesn't matter, whichever way it works for you, I suppose. Well, that's what they were saying. Let's raise our vibrational state and change the world. Now we look at, like I say, 2013. I had to look then. 2013. And it looks like the hippies pretty much got it right. And it pains me. Except for the bit about, getting what they want and then, once they've got what they want, disappearing, And that is the true mark of a hippie. Cannabis, turns out it does cure cancer at the end of the day, and raising your vibrational state and being in a state of consciousness of love and flower power and stuff, growing flowers and permaculture. Hang on a minute. The hippies got it right. Well, not exactly right. And I reckon there's been a lot of good ideas kicking around, the whole hippie perception that you can't beat it better. You can only love it better. Most of them don't even begin to conceive what love really is. What we're perceiving as love is pretty much judgment. We actually choose from very small amounts of what's available, and we decide that that's the best thing for us. And really, when you get a bit objective about it, that's not really what it is. It really isn't. So yeah, I think we've pretty been duped on a lot of things. The TV licenses, the parking tickets, court fines, these illegal taxes that are being placed upon us, because that's what they are. They're illegal, unlawful taxes. Don't get me wrong, if you're using the services in a place and the good services and they're providing people there should be some recompense or a payment or some description. I haven't got an issue with that. If I say to someone, come and paint me wall and I've got no money, and they say, oh, it's all right, I'll make you a meal or something. There should be a fair exchange of some description, They should, whatever, man. Whatever works for you. I agree with the barter, but, a lot of people haven't got anything. All they've got's money. That's all they've got. They haven't got anything else. They can't make something, they can't bake something, they can't create something. They can't do that. All they've got is money. It's all they know. And I've been there. Man. People give you what's important to them, and that's a beautiful thing. The number of people who I used to have a boat. I used to take people out on a boat. I didn't charge for it, and they come and give you crates of beer. And the normal thing was they come and give you a crate of beer. No matter how many times I told them that I didn't drink. Within... Oh, we just need to get rid of Chris Sparky because his audio is just gone kapoof. Ring us back, Chris. So yeah, the number of people who brought me crates of beer, no matter how many times I said to them, I don't drink alcohol. Thank you very much. No, it's thank I don't drink. And a guy come to me one day and he said, just to say thank you and put it under your truck. Don't slap people. And I didn't get it. I was slapping them. They were bringing me what's important to them. What's valuable to them. Not to me. To me, it has very little value. And as it actually turned out, the same guy who said, stop slapping them and put it under your truck, took the alcohol and brought me fuel for the boat. So as it turned out, it was a good thing. So yeah, I think it's. I think we should have a little bit of compassion. A little bit of compassion. But again, this I've been told to do it, and I've got to do this because it's my job. Bollocks. Not good enough. Go away. Come back with a better answer. That's my attitude. That is not an acceptable statement. Thank you, Nazi. On your way. Again, showing a little bit of compassion. Like I said, the guy I spoke to today, when I said, no, I don't support anybody who benefits from the misery and and suffering of others. Thank you very much indeed. Immediately he realised I was talking directly at him, and I was talking to him, and that's what he was doing, because he was getting paid a wage. I know that, and he knew it. And that is not what we should be doing on any level. And we all are. We all are to a certain degree. Are you back with us, Mikey? Let me get Mikey back. Are you there, Dave? Well, we've still got the server, and I'm still here. Look.
I'm still here.
Oh, Dave's back. Hello, Dave.
Yeah, I'm
I did say I
here.
was back.
Are you back, Mikey?
Yeah.
Ah, right, man. I didn't know if you got your audio back. Sometimes we get the connection, but not without the audio. So, do you want to chip something in, lads? Do you want to throw another thing into the...
I just want to know what Mikey thinks about council tax.
Here we go. Ding, 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 ding. Mikey comes out from the yellow corner.
Make me sound like Rocky Balboa or something. Council tax. I think it's a scam because, like, I look upon councils in the modern day and age. They are like the modern day, like, barons of, like, the old times. And, I mean, like, fair enough, you need your rubbish collecting and things like that. But, I mean, let's say if people turn around and says, I don't want to pay council tax, and they go, what do you mean? Well, I'll take my own rubbish to the dump. If my teeth are bad, I'll go to the dentist and pay myself. What they're going to do? Really? If people are going to put their hands up and pay for the services that they're getting and voluntary want to pay for them themselves. So, I mean, what's the council going to do? Council tax for what? Like, how many bedrooms you've got?
Ah, well, what they've done, Mickey, just on that level, man, and it's a good point. Like, you know, people want to get rid of their own rubbish. They want to pay somebody to get their own rubbish. You've got to be licensed by the council to actually get rid of the refuge.
Oh,
Yeah.
You
and
see?
the people they employ are so brainy, ain't they?
Well, no, they charge you that much, and they issue the license. You're right back to the same reason why. Why can some people grow cannabis and some people can't? Because they're rich. They're rich.
I want to just throw something in random that I meant to throw in earlier on. Just sorry to interrupt, Paul. Have you ever seen, as a member of the royal family, ever died of cancer? Because I don't.
Yeah, I've been into that one myself. No, they live long and prosperous. They do.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Just thought I'd throw that in there.
Have you ever looked at all the crystal therapy people, and have you had a look at what they say about resonant fields of energy being given off by various different crystals? At first, when I looked at it, I was a bit like, that's a bit. And then I thought about radio and quartz crystal and how crystals can be cut, and I am quite aware that different crystals have different frequencies and so forth.
Mm.
And then have a look at the crowns and the royal, you know, the regalia they have. And, them crystal therapy kind of people have got a point.
That £1 million act that Mark McGowan keeps on about.
Hey, you know, I've actually seen it. You know, you get women who are a bit like, ooh, you know, a bit giddy. You got diamond earrings in. And take their earrings out. Put ruby earrings in. And watch them change. I've seen it, Dave. It's mad stuff. But like I said, Mikey, have you got a food processor or something? What are you doing there? What are you trying to do? What's he doing? He's chopping an apple or something, isn't he?
No, I've spilled drink on my screen. I've got like it's like a watermark on the screen.
Excusable. That's excusable.
It's only a £700 laptop, and I've got like watermarks on the screen. So like I'm getting a cloth on the screen to wipe them out, but it's not working. So I don't know.
Well, there you go. You heard it here first. How to clean your keyboard.
I'll have to buy a new laptop at this point. Never mind, I'll get one.
Anyway, we've got a few minutes to go, I suppose. Well, I'm saying suppose. I stopped the clock at 2 minutes to go. I don't know how long ago that was. Thank you people out there for actually tuning in. Remember, it is your radio. It isn't actually our radio. And one day that will become really apparent to people. There's servers now, even though the jingle, as we say, it's really cheesy. Really cheesy. That is the case. We are now beginning. Can you mute for me, Mikey? Thanks.
Yeah, sorry, mate.
We are now beginning to transmit from multiple ground stations, not from a single ground station, but from multiple ground stations. And it's kind of really exciting. It's really exciting. Of course, I'm privy to see where this could go. Where it could go. And this is only a very small part of what could actually be happening regarding Dark City Radio and how it works and the conception behind it, really. There is no hierarchy. There is no hierarchy. And I mean, I know a lot of people go, oh, well, yeah, you kind of run it like, but I don't. That's the hoopy thing about it. I'm just here at the front. I'm not actually running it. All this tonight has been run completely automated. Except for when I pressed a couple of buttons and you could hear them other people speaking through that strange mumble. So the mumble server will pull the people together who are using the corporate and the ones that have seen that open source. And there is something more than just software being spoke of when we say open source. That source is not closed. It is open. As Dark City is open. Those gates, whether they're mythical or real, they will not stay open forever. It's really simple. A really simple thing to do. Just remember, you might know that the person sat next to you may not. No matter what they say, do not judge their words. Judge their actions. Judge their actions. We can make this world green again. We really can. We can remove the pollution from our skies. We can remove the pollution from our seas. We can actually recognise that nature itself is trying to repair it. It's trying to repair it. And if we could step out of the way, remove our ignorance slightly, we might see where we are. Where we are now. And then we might not be in such a rush to change it. Because in my experience, that is the only thing I can be certain of. Change. It will come. It will happen. And I will experience it. Thanks. That was the Dark City. Please, always ring in. We're done. I'm going to hit this, and then we'll go back to them other things. Call again.
This is a public health announcement. Cannabis cures cancer.